Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, September 23rd, and we are in a really unbelievable situation. As you know, Scott Ritter said last Saturday when Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, came to meet with President Biden, the meeting was very brief because Putin had gone through a back channel to get to the US Department of Defense to issue a very stern warning that if the United States and UK and basically NATO authorize the use of long-range missiles to hit targets deep inside Russia, that Russia would respond, that they would be officially at war with NATO, the UK, and the US. This is because Ukraine is not capable of targeting these missiles. They could only be directed by the United States or the UK directly, making them direct parties to the war, removing the fig leaf that Ukraine is currently serving as right now to their great destruction. Uh, Biden told Starmer no, but there's more to that story, which we'll get to. First, I wanted to just share something that I thought really was completely alarming and outrageous and shows how far gone the United States is if this is true. And this is what we have, according to a poll done by Rasmussen, not the I don't think it's the regular Rasmussen poll. We'll get to that. 28% of Democrats say the United States is better off if Trump were assassinated. And we'll just move along here to read the text. The poll was from Scott Rasmussen's Neapolitan News Institute, and they asked 1,000 registered voters this week. While it is always difficult to wish ill of another human being, would America be better off if Donald Trump had been killed last weekend? 17% of Americans responded yes, 69% said no, and the remaining 14% said they were not sure. Well, at least we have a two-thirds majority who have some degree of reason. This is not very promising. Among Democrats surveyed, 28% responded yes. And then Rasmussen, who did the poll, commented, "It's hard to imagine a greater threat to democracy than expressing a desire to have your political opponent murdered," unquote. I would say that that is, it's really quite bad. It speaks very ill of what people think the democratic process is here. And this is why I've launched an initiative called Guard the Vote. Now, in other breaking news, this is on the Ukraine situation. So the London Times yesterday says, quote, private deal could let Ukraine fire missiles into Russia. So even though President Biden told Starmer no, because cooler heads at the Pentagon, wiser people than our pompous idiot Secretary of State Tony Blinken and the British Foreign Secretary Lammy uh, said, don't do this. The British want to push this, and they may not really do it. They may be putting out articles like this to try and provoke Russia. Russia has, in effect, won the war in Ukraine. It's really over. But for electoral and other purposes, uh, people in the West wish to keep up the delusion that somehow if we just give Ukraine enough weapons, if we keep fueling this, that they're going to win. It's not going to happen. So this is extremely dangerous. It's very dangerous as a bluff. It's more dangerous in reality. Putin has been extremely reserved because he doesn't want to trigger a major escalation that could interfere with what will undoubtedly be a Russian victory where Ukraine is going to have to deal with the terms that Russia sets. But as you can see, this is just extremely dangerous and irresponsible. Now, in other parts of the world, people are more sane. And you may remember a couple of weeks ago, I released a report on Nigeria opening their petroleum refining capability, which is tremendously exciting. It allows them to become finally independent of colonial powers. And now look at this. They have just signed an agreement with a Russian consortium to rehabilitate the Kuta steel plant. Um, I don't know what the timetable is for getting this thing operational. I'll just show you a little clip here. Looks like the thing is pretty old and is going to need some work. But this is, look, what people have to understand is colonialism is over. The BRICS conference is coming up October 22nd to 24th in Kazan in Russia. I think also part of these hysterical actions from the West, like threatening Russia with long range missiles, are to disrupt that. Would we consider bombing the BRICS conference? I don't know. How insane are these Western leaders? So, this is why my campaign, the campaign of Jose Vega, are so important. I would urge people to get on my website, sarahforsenate.com, sign up to volunteer, sign up to participate in the meeting tonight at 8:30 p.m. And we will be announcing a major event. And also, if you are a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, please donate.